fact that they are able to, change the pace, go and just do what they do extremely well. They're a big physical group. Davis is a good team, so excited to follow them and what they end up doing. But by no means are we ever happy, and so it's quite disappointing. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm completely dissatisfied with all of it. So we're gonna go back on the practice field this morning and we're getting this thing going.
Now, a lot of coaches will say that the biggest improvements will come between week 1 and week 2 for a team. What areas do you expect to see improvement out of your group?
Well, I just expect every position to be committed to doing what they do well. I mean, we have set together a job description for each position that we give them. We say, hey, from day one, here's what you're expected to do. And so we're going to give you opportunities to learn, to keep growing in it. And so not much has changed in that. And so I'm expecting the youngsters that have gotten now the newness of football out of their system to say, I'm going to be committed to doing my job and doing it well. So, you just want to see, though, now that the bright lights have been on, you've been in the stage, you played fast-paced football against a great opponent. Now I think that what you have is that reality of, okay, now I know what to do. You try to tell them as much as it's like being a parent. You tell your kids all the time, hey, don't do this, do this. You're setting a vision for them. But until they kind of feel it for themselves, they begin to kind of really take your word for it. So, our team's motivated. We have high spirits just to get better, just to become the best Cougar football team we can be.
Now, after reviewing the tape, did you draw any other positives from the game that maybe you didn't see right away?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positives that came out of there. When you lose a football game, I think what we look at it and we never want to just be okay with, oh, hey, great effort. But you always do have to have a realistic perspective and say that, okay, what are the positives you come from it? And as you look at it, you say, man, I thought the secondary played well. I thought that Terrell Watson to be able to break off over 100 yards rushing did an outstanding job. I thought, our young wide receiver crew is really beginning to grow and understand the routes where they need to be at. We replaced some new old linemen, so that's good. There's a lot of positive that come from just playing football. You're tired of just going to camp, pushing at yourself. You got a chance to see an opponent. You got a chance to get tested. Out of all that, what we look at it's the greatest X-ray that we can see truly who we are. And now from there we can move forward with some real clarity and intention.
What's the atmosphere around the team as they head into the first conference game for this program?
Well, it comes back to let's be good at who we are. Let's come back to let's work hard with what amount of time we get every week to work and get after it. We're just excited to play college football. So the fact that it's GNAC play, yeah, that's great. We're excited about that. We're excited to be a part of this outstanding league. But our focus is just on us. Our focus is on making us the best Cougar football team. At this point, we're thankful to have a game Saturday so we can get after this thing. And so our guys are hungry. We want to get back on the field. But all in all, it's like we're turning the microscope on ourselves to say, hey, how do we get better and become the best football player that each individual can be?
How helpful is that 2 extra days, playing the Thursday game? How helpful is that for rest?
Well, it's helpful in the rest part to heal guys up. You still have the 20-hour rule for the NCAA, so you couldn't practice all weekend, if you wanted to. So it was good. I'm a believer in, hey, I want to have a team that's fresh going into a game. There's a fine balance with what you demand in physical practices, film room, and then also giving them time to rest. School's starting now. We're trying to get off to the good foot when it comes to academics, making sure you got all your classes ready to go, your books, your paper, everything you got. You need everything you need to be ready to get a good start in classes. That's happening this week. So that gave the guys a chance with their families and move in a weekend to really organize their life and get started well. So it's good. We're fired up. Guys are healing up, and with the GNAC play, I think it's going to be consistent that you got to give the guys time to get fresh so that they are ready to go on Saturday and not trying to win the game on Wednesday.
Humboldt State's a familiar opponent for you. You go into a conference play, which is new, but you get to start with somebody that this program knows very well. There's been a long rivalry there. Just talk about, does that help you in your preparation, knowing that it's not a new opponent?
Well, I think it helps, and that you have a quality opponent. I mean, they're the GNAC reigning champion, and Rob Smith does an outstanding job. Even when he was at Western Washington, and he put together a solid football team. So they're well organized. They know what they want to do. watching the film, you realize defensively and offensively they know their systems. They have an identity early on, which is always good for any team to have that. Shane McClure, him and I have been kind of coaching acquaintances for quite a long time now, and so he does a good job defensively, and you can see that the guys are playing hard, physical. And then offensively, to be able to see the rump come in as a quarterback the way he is, he throws the deep ball extremely well. I thought he ran their system well, the way they're able to get to the ball fast, and then check with me plays. I thought that Spencer, the wide receiver, he's a deep threat. They're gonna test us, man. They've got some real tension on the corners with as fast as the receivers are, and so the O-line was what really impressed me the most, though. Huge, massive men who move well, pull well. You could tell that it's a group that knows their systems, and it's going to be everything we wanted in football.
Knowing what Humboldt State's strengths are, what do you think it'll take to beat them?
Well, it's going to come back to what we said earlier. Is that, for us to have a chance to win the game, let's be good at what we do. Let's tackle better. Let's block better. Let's understand our schematic responsibilities well. Understand that it's an 11-to-1 ratio. That we need 11 guys doing their job well. I don't need one guy taking a play off. And we need to get beyond just good effort. We need to be, every one of my players played extremely hard last Saturday. Extremely good effort. Except that's not good enough. We need to be great effort with great technique, with great schematic responsibility. That great focus that happens one play at a time. And so that's part of raising up a young team that we have right now, and they're learning it. The veterans I have on the team, it's a real responsibility to them to continue to teach these young guys how to practice, to teach them how to approach a game. I think the emotion of a Davis game created some more angst than maybe we should have, but that's what you get with youth. And now that they've seen it, they've been there. Hopefully this Saturday coming up, the lights aren't as bright anymore, and when they take the stage, they're more focused on just taking it one play at a time instead of all the hoopla that's going on. So, but like I said, they're here to play college football. We're throwing them in the fire to get to play college football, and I'm excited to lead these guys. And they're a tremendous team, very fine young men that are going to have a bright future, and it's going to start with just one day at a time and make it happen. So we're excited.
And then Humboldt State's a unique road trip, just the long bus ride up there. Yes, you've been there, you've been a part of several trips up there, having played them several times in the past. Talk about what that trip is going to be like for your team.
Well, we do a lot of good things on the way up to break it up, and you're going to go back to, hey, at some point they're going to travel to us, we're going to travel to them. You can't let the bus trip be an excuse, and so we'll make fun, we'll eat quite a bit. It's you get a chance to see the whole state of California. The whole state of California. And, when you get into town, it's a great atmosphere. What I've really liked is just what Humboldt has done with their game day atmosphere. Honestly, it's probably one of the best game day atmospheres in all of Division II football. And so the fans are excited, and now when we get to play, that's what we want. The kids want to go into a stadium. They want to be able to walk in where, hey, this matters. Not even looking at the opponent or the outcome. It's just you love college football Saturdays. So when we walk into this one, it's going to be real exciting. So it's a great town, great trip. On the way home, you shoot all the way through in the bus, and you find a place to sleep, and you just hang tight, and you wake up, and hey, it's going to be all good from there.